Morning, morning. How you doing? What's up? What's up? How you doing? Top of the morning. Good Friday. Friday. Is it Friday or Friday? Good Friday. Friday. Is it Friday? What's up? What's up? Getting this going. 1 second. How you doing? How you doing? Drop the wave in there. Top of the morning. Good to see you. Early is on time. On time is late. Right on. That means you was waiting. I love it. I love it. We gonna get this off to a great start today. Right on. All right. So for my grand people, the grand won't let me be great. So I'm gonna proceed without him today. Let's see. All right, it's 7, which means we got to get it cracking, get it going. It's 7, which means we got to get it cracking. My man, Marco, how you doing? Hey, y'all. God bless you, brother. My man, Marco, how you doing? Hey, I hear you after prayer. All right. But hey, I appreciate you chiming in, Marco. Top of the morning to you, brother. Let me see. I heard you. I see you. Top of the morning. Who else we got on here? Get this cracking. Got my coffee. Anybody on the YouTube side? All right. Get this going. I just need somebody to let me know. Thumbs up, a comment. You can hear me okay? And we launching off, baby. Great Friday. Check one more thing. How was your week? How was your week? All right. What you say? All right. Liz say I'm here. All right. Hey, it's takeoff then. Hey, Liz on, Marco on. Time to take off. All right. So, happy Friday. Good to see you guys. Again, thank you for checking in. Another morning of coffee with Leo. Here, notification off. Wow. So, a great morning with coffee with Leo. So, today got quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Got quite a bit to go through and whatnot. And so, all in all, what I do is hopefully I get through everything. Yesterday was super cool. Yesterday was good. So much so, I didn't even get through all my points yesterday. So guess what? They overflow to today, which makes it a great segment because it's consistent. I'm guessing that's what God wanted anyway. So again, if this is your first time tuning in, chiming in, thank you for joining me with Coffee with Leo. This is the pilot version. This is the kickoff. I appreciate you starting your morning off. Listen to it on the way to work. Sit at your desk, put some earbuds in, as long as you don't get in trouble, that is. But all in all, Coffee with Leo is set up as an extension of Balancing Life with Leo Richards. And balancing life, from what God gave me, is 3 dimensions: spiritual, mental, lifestyle, in that order. So a lot of times we are taught in one way or the other how to enjoy life from a natural standpoint. Sometimes we're brought up in a church home, and sometimes we're just in between and really never was presented or invited to either one. And we have to figure this thing out. So what the good Lord gave your boy was how to balance all 3 of these things: how to use biblical principles, how to establish a solid mindset, and how to apply it to your life. And so that's what Coffee with Leo is about. Setting the tone for your day, getting things kicked off, and then using just biblical principles, acknowledging things that we all see and enjoy in life. You know, I had a partner that let me know that I used the term about the Amish, and he said even with the Amish, you know, when they turn 18, they have a day where they get to go explore the world and decide if they want to come back to the stables or whatnot, come back to the land and the life that they know. Even with monks, you see monks, they have a day out in the city and enjoying things or whatever. You see nuns and priests. So all in all, it doesn't matter what faction or what lineage or line up you background that you have of denomination or religious or spiritual belief. All in all, you need balance in life. You know what I'm saying? The Father didn't come here as an example so that we can be stuck in the book and don't explore the beauty of God's creation. So God created an amazing, beautiful world. And that's what he gave me. He said, hey, let my children know it's okay to enjoy life. You know, everything in moderation. Do things in moderation, of course. And throughout these programs, throughout these mornings, as we get into this thing, I start breaking these things down. One aspect of doing things in moderation is there's a scripture. This wasn't even a part of the program, but somebody watching, God led me to give you this. When he said, if it offends your neighbor, do it not. And one of the reasons why God give us that is because we're all weak to something. And if we're all weak to something, our days are impacted differently. So if our days are impacted differently, how do we go about our day? There's no one size fits all to this thing. So it's kickoff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have that dialogue and whatnot set up. But apparently the good Lord wanted somebody to hear it. So it's time to launch. Icebreaker. So I wanted to kick off Icebreaker because it was something that came across this week that happened. And you know, everybody got, a lot of people have the blue check marks. And so it was a debate whether it was a money grab, if it was wise to do it, if some people are doing it for cachet and exposure and whatnot. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, the app, Facebook, as well as Instagram, they have it to where you can authenticate that you are who you are and your page will be safer and whatnot. And so there, I had a scammer that tried to get me with one of my cousins. Now, I believe her page is already hacked, but what he did was they took a little quick video clip of one of her videos and they played her video and they recorded it. And so what they did, they called through Messenger with that little video clip or whatnot, pretending to be her, to say that, hey, you know, I think my page has been hacked. I sent the code to your phone. Can you please send me the code so that I can get in? Now, I say that because if you are a business or you are a person that has your phone number listed on your page so that people can get in contact with you, that's a scam. You know, so they would use you to get into somebody else's page that they're trying to scam. They'll try to reach out through Messenger, whatever, pretend like it's a message video call. And then in turn, if you send them the code that you got through your text message, they would then take over that person's page. Thankfully, I was wise enough to understand and know the difference between how my cousin talks. And if this was truly my cousin, here you go, pick up the phone. Before I send you a code, pick up this messenger, pick up the video so I can talk to you directly. Your phone isn't messing up that much where you can't talk to me. So just beware. One, scammers. Don't help scammers take over somebody else's page, and be mindful that that is a scam going on. Two, it brings up the question, should you consider protecting your page in the event your page is being monetized? It's a business page, whatever the case may be. So that was something that I just wanted to add in for today, because it's something that if you are using your page for more than just socializing, it's something that you may want to consider. If it's a safeguard that should be considered and taken. So that's that. Scammers and the blue check mark. And so that's just something, I don't have an answer for you. I'm not going to tell you yeah or nay, because for me, the blue check mark and the authentication hasn't been out long enough for me to be able to make a wise decision, nor for me to say I've had experience with it. I would check with someone who has the blue check mark to see what comes with it, to see if they still had some type of issues and what the customer support is like, if you actually have customer support that comes with it. So that wasn't a part of the show. That was just something that, because someone tried to someone scammed me through getting through somebody's page, I just want to share with my viewers. So there you go. All right, moving on along. Time for the Did You Know segment. All right, it is February, and February being Black History Month, of course, I'm going to acknowledge some of the greats. I'm going to acknowledge some unknown facts and whatever the case may be. And to start off, my belief is where I have a great amount of respect for history in itself. Hold on one second. Pause that thought. What you say? Yeah, Liz say someone tried that with her. Absolutely, no problem. We in this together. So, so back to the Did You Know? The Did You Know? Whereas I do believe that I pay homage to the greats, the legends, whatever the case may be, history. I also believe there are occurrences at times right now today that are being done that we're in history in the making. And a lot of times you have to acknowledge as such. And so, prime example, he's not on my list, and I'll get to him later. Take LeBron James. LeBron James is history in the making. He's a living legend, and his career isn't even over. He's still existing. So I'm gonna jump to someone whose career is just starting, but it's starting in an amazing way. And I've watched the interview with her and her dad, and whatever the case may be. So I want to acknowledge a young lady, Miss Dakota White. Miss Dakota White is a 7-year-old who's in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. And she recently broke a Junior Olympics record. Now, it wasn't clear if it was doing the relay portion of it or if it was an individual meet. However, this young lady ran her 100 meters in less than 60 seconds at 7 years old. Now, I won't go as far as calling Miss Dakota a prodigy just yet. I won't call her a legend, but I will acknowledge that she broke a record. She made history as the youngest young lady to break this record in Junior Olympics. And I ran track. And if you ever ran track, if you ever played sports, sometimes you're born with a gift, but we've seen people with natural gifts that they were born with, then had a mental fortitude to see it through, the heart to go through the times of being tired and the hard work that it takes. We've seen this time and time again, people with all the skill in the world, yet they don't put the work in to break records and do what they can. I'm not going to put this brother out there, but I remember when I was running track in high school, there was a brother at East St. Louis Senior High School. And many people who are familiar with the history of East St. Louis High School, back in the 90s and early 2000s, this brother was phenomenal, super fast. You know what I'm saying? And he would take times where he didn't practice. You know what I'm saying? He would do certain things that were not healthy for you, and he still would win off of natural gifts. Fast forward, I don't believe he pursued college. I don't believe he pursued Olympics, whatever the case may be. His natural talent was just amazing. So I say that because we see individuals who have natural gifts and talents, yet they don't put the work in to excel in that area. So I want to take my hats off to this young lady. Starting off great. I love the relationship. And I love that her dad said they hadn't taken all the junk food and everything away from her, and they still allow her to be a kid. They do the hard work, but they allow her to remain present as a kid. So shout out to young Dakota White for making history as a junior Olympian. So again, with the Did You Know fun fact. So did you know Garrett Morgan? So Garrett Morgan was credited for the invention of the 3 system lights that we use, traffic signals. And he later invented a gas mask that was used in World War I. And so I was reading this and I was like, man, they had 3 signal lights back then. And so all in all, Garrett Morgan was a fun fact that just looking, researching, that was one that I hadn't came across. And as I started doing my research, I'm like, man, for 28 days in a month, I was only looking to probably do maybe one or two Black history fun facts. But then I realized we're so rich in history with our culture that we can do all 28 days and still wouldn't have enough material to cover all of the days. So shout out to Mr. Morgan. You know, when you pull up to a traffic light today, think about Garrett Morgan. He invented it, and the gas mask. So when you're on an airplane and whatever, and you can breathe, whatever the case may be, our people invested a great deal of their knowledge and wisdom and strategies and inventions into how we live today. So as you ride into work, thank Mr. Morgan for being able to cross these intersections safely. He invented the 3-system traffic light. All right. Did you know the Negro Motorist Green Book? All right, so I'm gonna read this one. During the Jim Crow era, Victor Hugo Green published the Negro Motorist Green Book, a travel guide for African Americans that listed a safe accommodations, restaurants, and businesses, providing guidance on navigating segregation. Now, they have the movie, The Green Book. I will say that I'm embarrassed to admit this one. I hadn't watched it yet. But I'm more into, reading a little bit more before watching the movie, because sometimes the movies leave out some things. Sometimes they add it for entertainment purposes. And I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't watch TV that much. I don't watch movies that much. That's like a luxury to me to be able to sit and actually watch a movie all the way through. So I'm not big on watching movies that much. Occasionally I do watch them. But the Green Book is on my list. It's Black History Month. That's on my list to do. I will watch it, but I appreciate the brother for coming up with that book, protecting his own, and giving them wisdom on where to go and where not to go. All right. One of my favorite right here, Mr. Jackie Robinson. So when I started looking up Jackie Robinson and wanted to figure out what can I really present about Jackie Robinson that we really didn't already know. I did watch 42, which I'm gonna go deeper into that. And so I was watching 42. I was looking through Jackie Robinson history. I'm like, what is a fun fact that my viewers may enjoy that we really didn't know that Jackie Robinson did? So did you know Jackie Robinson although he is widely celebrated for breaking the color barrier for Major League Baseball, when he made his debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers, April 15, 1947. I'm gonna still put that out there. He became the first African-American television analyst in Major League Baseball, working for ABC, Major League Baseball Game of the Week. So I did not know that he was actually an analyst. I thought maybe he was just a guest, but I didn't know that he was actually an analyst, and he used his platform at the time to speak against segregation and civil rights and things of that nature. So just like Muhammad Ali, my man Jackie Robinson was about that. Did the same thing. And so I was like, wow, okay. So that led me over to, because I watched the movie, one of my favorite lines, which is, I'll get into it in a moment, the reporter that accompanied Jackie Robinson. So I wanted to figure out, who was this reporter? So come to find out, it was Mr. John Wendell Smith. So in the movie, if you've ever seen 42, John Wendell Smith was a reporter that followed behind Jackie Robinson. And so when I looked into Mr. John Wendell Smith, I found out that he actually played baseball himself. He was actually a pitcher in college, and he was really good, and he was good enough to make the league. And he didn't get drafted because of the color barriers, the same color barriers that Jackie Robinson broke prior to Jackie Robinson being brought on board. The reporter, John Wendell Smith, he was a sports writer. And so he was told that they would love to bring him on, but because of his hue and his color, they couldn't. So he sought out to do whatever he could to help brothers get into the league. So he was also credited that during the time of his writing, when the Dodgers were looking for a baseball player of color to break the color barrier, he was the person that advised the owner about Jackie Robinson. He said, hey, it's a brother over here I think fits the mold of what you're looking for. Because you had Hank Aaron, you had other people in that time. They were really good baseball players. However, they were looking for one who could also mentally be able to withstand the prejudice and racism that was coming their way. So this brother, John Wendell Smith, not only broke the barrier and whatnot, John Wendell Smith was one of the first African-American sports writers to be a member of the Baseball Writers Association of America. That's equivalent to Jackie Robinson breaking the barriers into MLB. Smith was previously a pitcher, as I said. And furthermore, he ended up writing for boxing. He moved to Chicago, and he continued to do great feats, even to the point whereas Jackie Robinson breaking barriers, he also wrote about the barriers of writers and individuals not being able to stay in hotels and things of that nature and segregation during that time. And the teams did something about it. So he finally was permitted to enter and sleep into the same hotels and things of that nature, just like other writers. So shout out to John Wendell Smith, who also is responsible for the Leoism of the day. So the Leoism of the day is you have to see it slow. Now, I'll elaborate on that. In the movie 42, there's a scene where John is speaking to Jackie. Jackie didn't receive him well. John was offered compensation by the owner to accompany Jackie Robinson. Now, I was confused because I'm like, why is his Bonzi Bensworth or whatever, however you call it, why is he following Jackie around like that? Come to find out, he got paid to accompany him and, help keep him safe. Jackie was an investment. And the sports writer, Mr. Smith, he knew more about the area and how to stay out of trouble. And so Jackie wasn't receptive because he didn't understand immediately why this brother was on this line and following him. And so the reporter had to tell him one day, you have to see it slow. You have to see things coming in slow. Just like you see that ball coming in slow, that pitch coming in slow, you have to be able to see these questions that these other reporters who are not for you, they're going to try to set you up with the questioning. So you have to use wisdom and understand what it is, all right? So see it slow is something that I've adopted since the birth of that movie because it stood out, man. And so what I saw as see it slow as in life, in situations, in conversations, not being so quick to respond or react. See it slow means slow it down. So throughout this week, there were affirmations, affirmations and other elements that were spoken about being still and being present. And so see it slow is just that. Having the ability and the fortitude to be still and don't feel the necessity to respond immediately. So again, the Leoism of the day is you have to see it slow. All right. So thank you, Mr. Smith, for that line, because hearing you say it to Jackie and seeing you relate it to baseball, it's the same thing. We have to take certain things, learn how to relate it to everyday living. So Leoism of the day, you have to see it slow. All right. So commercial break. So because it is, again, Black History Month, if you have a Black History Month fun fact that you want to share, feel free to inbox it to me. I'd love to share it with you. Also, any topics of your choice you like for me to cover, I got you. And as you see on the screen, I've constantly displayed about guests are welcome. And what that's about is there are various topics that I like to tackle. However, having a guest, male or female, especially in your field of profession, helps to have dialogue. Sometimes you need somebody who thinks a little different than you so that we can have educated conversations about certain topics, especially dating. I can give you my perspective on something. However, that's the perspective I understand it from.
I do welcome other individuals, whether you're a counselor or therapist, whether you're a fitness trainer, whether you're a real estate investor, whether you do finances, whatever the case may be. I welcome you to the stage to have dialogue, to assist in areas of spiritual, mental, lifestyle balance. If you have a specialty and you'd like to come on board, holler at your boy. Inbox me, let me know your background, whatever the case may be, and we'll write a script for you. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we're going to move right along to our affirmations of the day. So, affirmations of the day. Again, the affirmations set the foundation and the atmosphere of your day before your day meets you. And so, on a daily basis, we're going to go over these affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Some of the affirmations will be repeats, some of them will be new. What I try to do in attempt is making sure that the affirmations fit the theme of the day. So as you head into work, if you're already at work, if you're at home, whatever the case may be, we need to set the tone of our day before our day meets us. Get your mind right, get your spirit and your heart right, whatever the case may be. So we're going to share some affirmations, and then we're going to get into principles of balancing life and talking about our temple and what that really means. So, as I've said before, take a screenshot, write them down, create a list of affirmations, create a calendar list, and speak these affirmations and prayers over yourself and over your day daily. Set the tone of it. So, first affirmation: I attract abundance into my life. And so, when you say attract, it's just like bees to a honey. It's something about honey. It's something about flowers that attract bees. And so there has to be a sense, a savory, a sweetness to something that attracts the attention. So there is something about you that your energy of what you project is going to attract what you want. And if it's abundance, abundance of what? Be clear. There's a scripture that I'm going to list later. I go ahead and say it. Habakkuk. All right. Write it down. Write the vision. Make it plain. So what do you want abundance in? Do you want abundance in wisdom and strategies? Do you want abundance in financial wealth? Do you want abundance in health? What do you want abundance in? So I attract abundance into my life. Abundance is more than enough. So what are you going to do with more than enough when you get it? All right. God don't mind giving it to you, but he don't need you hoarding it. It's pretty much like the talents. And you hear the story about the talents where there are individuals who were giving different talents according to their gifts and their ability to manage those talents. All right. There were some who multiplied and did something with it, and some who sat on it out of fear. The one that sat on it out of fear, his was taken and given to the one that multiplied. So you may see somebody that's making an abundance of money, that's having abundance of followers, whatever the case may be. The difference is they're putting the work in. Don't take humility as softness or quietness or meekness and don't do nothing. Take humility as a heart position, all right? And a mindset that God can trust you to have an abundance. You're blessed to be a blessing. So understand, I attract abundance into my life. So when that abundance comes, make sure you understand what God wants you to do with the abundance when it comes. My dreams chose me because they can trust me. All right. That was one that I had to throw in there. You know, my dreams trust me. My dreams chose me because they can trust me. Understand, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, it's not by mistake. You know what I'm saying? Believe that you are enough. Believe that you are equipped. And if you need additional support, study. Anything you do for 15 to 30 minutes per day, you become proficient in it in a year. So if you have a dream about something, get started. Spend 15 minutes a day on it, whatever the case may be. It can be research, it can be practicing. Everything I've ever done in life, business-wise, I did as a trial. I've never done it in my life. I remember I did, Liz is on here. She remembered when I was a gospel DJ. And so at one point, I was a gospel DJ. I went by DJ Integrity. And so when I did the gospel DJ thing, that came about because I went to what was supposed to be a gospel skate night. And they had a mixture of secular music and gospel. I only wanted gospel. If it's going to be a gospel night, let it be gospel. You know, I'm not mixing the two. And so at the time, my partner who invited me, he saw I was like irritated, but I'm like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? At 12 o'clock, they switched to the same stuff. Like, no, I thought it was, you know, I thought I'm going to be rocking the Mary and Kirk Franklin and all of that. And so he was like, well, why don't you do it? I had never DJ'd in my life, never touched a mixing board, none of that. And so what I did was I created a company, Eclectic Praise Ministry, and I hired myself as the DJ. And I didn't wait till I learned how to DJ properly. I simply just put the songs in order, in sequence, and I learned on the fly. True story. So DJ Integrity was birthed out of a need. And I didn't wait till I was good at it. I actually got better as I continued to produce music through it. All right. Another thing that I did, and I have a background, is marketing and consulting. And so I created a publication back home that was called the Metro Information Guide. And I had advertisements and contracts and partnerships with Disney and with the mall and with the base and all your restaurants there. So franchise restaurants, you name it. But it started out because when I was promoting my gospel skate nights and whatnot, it opened a door for marketing in an area where I never touched a graphic design studio platform ever in my life. I didn't know how to do graphic design. All right. I stepped out on faith. I had Adobe Suite. My big brother, Levi 2 King, thank you, brother. Levi 2 King not only introduced me to Adobe Suite, he also showed me some little quick nuggets on how to use it. And I used Adobe Suite, Photoshop, and Illustrator, and all of that. And I started with the basics. And over a course of that next year, I became skilled, so skilled, I started designing my own business cards. I started designing other people marketing material. However, I still utilize individuals who were more skilled than me. And the Red Note Rogers, appreciate you, brother. And I got a brother back home that does all of the graphics, you know what I'm saying? And so Chris Crosby is my brother, man. I love you, brother. He's always held me down for every marketing project, major marketing project I've had. And so I've always utilized individuals that were more skilled than me. So that's a nugget. You don't have to do everything. You can be in a lane of doing something where you can be profitable, but you can still outsource it to someone who's more skilled as you develop. Protect your integrity and your work by utilizing individuals who are more skilled. All right. You don't have to be it all. All right. My point of that is the dreams that I had, that God gave me, the dreams that chose me, they chose me because they believe I can see them through. All right. And instead of letting my dreams down by saying, I don't know how to do that, I can't do that, I walked out on faith and I just started. All right. This whole platform, Coffee with Leo, I've never desired and never thought that I would ever be in front of a camera. I've always been a background person. Even when you look at my pictures of DJ Integrity, I have a hat covering my face, and I purposely did it so you wouldn't know what I looked like and who I was. When I ran a record label, I never jumped on stage with the artists. I always did it from the background. My dreams chose me because they could trust that I would bring them to life. And your dreams are choosing you. So whatever your dream is, whatever the case may be, understand your dreams chose you for a reason. You just have to believe in you like your dreams believe in you and walk out on faith. Next affirmation. Each day offers me a new chance to shine. Much like them dreams chose you, and if yesterday you doubted yourself, today is the day that you can believe in yourself and trust yourself. Start with writing it down. You don't have to jump out in front of social media and tell them your plans. Actually, that's not wise. Don't tell anybody what you're about to do. Just start. At the end of the day, whatever you think and whatever dream came to you, sometimes we fail because we let too many people or the wrong people know our vision. All right? Don't let imps, demons, and devils know your game plan. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Use wisdom. and allow the Holy Spirit to show you individuals that are meant to be there to support your vision, because there are some who are meant to ensure it doesn't come to life. And then there are some that are planted to be a blessing to you. You never know who you're going to meet through whom. You never know what doors are going to open by simply walking out on faith. Today is a new day to shine. Whatever you were supposed to do that you didn't do yesterday, today is the start. Write it down, send an email, make the phone call. You got this. The next one, healing takes time. All right. Now, healing takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's actually a lifetime. We all have family members. We all have parents. We have grandparents. Sometimes we can go into church and see the motherboard where people still healing from something. All right. And that's not to judge anyone, because we can be that person on the deacon board or the motherboard and realize that it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can get to a certain place in life where it's stages, it's steps to healing. All right. So you may heal in one area, but then realize that you need to heal in a different area. I'll give you a real life analogy. Right now, you see this glove? This is a copper fit. All right. It's a copper fit glove. I personally, like I've said before, I box, not professionally, not as an amateur, just as an exercise. So boxing as an exercise, I became overzealous in the gym. And I'm talking about my ego got the best of me, to the point where as I'm hitting this bag and shaking the machine, you know what I'm saying? The whole machine, I'm learning that the type of punches and whatnot is giving more power and impact. So because I'm feeling myself and I'm hitting this bag and I'm like, oh, sheesh, hey, your boy got it. I'm not realizing that the shock and the impact going up my arms, I didn't have my wrist wrapped properly and whatnot. And so over time, my body was letting me know, hey, it was giving me signs. Hey, bro, hey, slow down, slow down. Instead of me taking rest and allowing it to heal before it became strenuous, I'm an athlete. I'm a man. I can power through this. I'll be all right, boom, boom, boom. And eventually it caused the stress fracture. And so I had to stop. I did have to, do more. Even when I started icing it, I didn't even realize my arms, both arms had swelling in them. After the swelling came down, where I initially felt the pain in one area, the swelling came down, I felt the pain in a different area, which means in one area of my arm, it came down, it healed. But in a different area, I didn't even realize that I had a stretch fracture until the swelling went down in my arms. And then over a course of time, once certain areas start to heal, I can still feel a little pinch of soreness to let me know, hey, you're not completely healed yet. Yes, you can lift weights again. Yes, you can do certain things, but you got to take it easy and understand it's a process. It's going to take time for it to become 100%. If it's ever 100%, it may become 99%, 98%. It may never be at 100%. The whole point of utilizing this as an example is you can feel amazing. You can feel like you can date again. You can feel like you can go out into the world again. You can see things that used to trigger you. Triggers are shared emotional responses. All right. So understand what a trigger is, a shared emotional response. So healing takes time. It's a journey. You may be at 70, 80%, 90%, but still use enough wisdom to understand that it's a journey. All right. Although you started the process, continue the process so that you don't fall back and backslide into whatever started that process. All right. And the final affirmation, exercising is one way I show love to my body. All right. So I'm going to say this for individuals, brothers, if you have a significant other, a woman, whatever the case may be, and you want to encourage her and coach her into the element of working out and getting her into a certain space that you see a vision of what she can be. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And support sometimes is you accompanying that woman. Now, there are some people who are not ready to take that journey. Don't pressure them. You know what I'm saying? Support them in a way that understanding stretching may be a start for some people. The gym may be too much of a leap. Being in public, some people may feel that their body isn't in a place, whereas when they get to this gym and they see individuals that's rocked up, you know what I'm saying? Even men get insecure when they walk in the gym and they see these dudes with muscles and they ripped and whatnot. They're like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I'm just getting started. I can't lift what he's lifting. Don't ego lift. Don't allow your ego to get in the way of you taking care of you and whatnot. Exercising isn't about looking good for the public. It's not about looking good for social media. You have your vitals that you need to pay more attention to than your physical. How you physically look is great for the world. Your vitals, your blood pressure, your mental, all of that is key. It's important because in this day and time, your vitals is going to help you live a healthier life and whatnot. When I retire, I don't want to be sitting down in front of a TV in a wheelchair or a rocking chair when I retire because I'm active. I desire to be out in the woods, to be out swimming, I desire to be out kicking it. 70, 80 years old. I want to be in Dubai, hiking, kicking it. And so this is an investment into you and in your future as well. So don't look at exercising as something that's going to beat your body up and as something that you're trying to please somebody in. Look at it as an investment of I love myself enough to be mindful of the things that I eat, the things that I do, and that I pour into my body, which is going to lead into taking care of the temple. So the affirmations of the day as seen. Hopefully you wrote them down. Hopefully you took a screenshot. If not, go to my YouTube page, rewatch this, and jot them down. Go to some other episodes and make sure that you understand these affirmations are life-changing. It's how you apply them. All right. All right. So before I go to the Proverbs of the day, Liz say she's hired Anta before, and she still has me listed as DJ Integrity, which is fine. I'm DJ Integrity. I'm Leo. I'm Nard. I'm whatever I needs to be to you as long as I'm a blessing. All right. So moving along to the proverb of the day. All right. So I'm back on track, y'all. I know what day it is, and I got you. So the proverb of the day is Proverbs 2, and I added an extra one in there. So instead of 1, I actually like the proverb 1 and 2 going together. So my son, if you will receive my words and treasure my commandments within you, so that your ear is attentive to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. All right. So with all you're getting, get understanding, get the wisdom. Go back and read this proverb. As I said before, with the Proverbs of the day, if you're new to reading the word, if you're getting back into the reading the word, if you can't stay woke long enough to read a whole chapter or a verse or whatever, if you can't dissect it, start with reading a proverb a day. You know what I'm saying? It's a great way to get started with reading your word, with getting into your system. If you can't do a whole devotional and stay on track, there's a proverb for each day of the month. Just read a verse out of that. And it's wisdom that you can apply to everyday life. All right. So prepare for the week ahead tip. All right. So there's a term that I have, preparing for the week ahead. And preparing for the week ahead is another Leoism that I've lived by, for the most part of my adult life. The weekends are to prepare for the week ahead. All right. And so recharge. So the tip of the day is, well, you got it. So the tip is recharge. So here's some ways that you can recharge. All right. So 1, recharge your devices, your laptops, your phones. Make sure that you have chargers. We go through chargers left and right. You know what I'm saying? And I can be on the phone with somebody, and I'm guilty of this too. And they're like, oh man, my phone was about to die. Make sure that you have adapters and chargers and all of that. Make sure that your devices If you use a laptop for work and you're taking the weekend off, make sure that you have that laptop and that charger connected together and you have it. There are some mobile device chargers that I have, whereas if I don't have a charger, I got this little device, charge those up. If you're about to travel, make sure that, the little extra devices, external chargers are charged up and ready for travel. Pre-pack your luggage. I'm not as great for that, but pack your luggage early. You know what I'm saying? That way you don't have to scramble and be in the position of almost missing a plane. Recharge your mind, such as watching a good movie, getting away, taking a walk, getting out in nature. So recharge your mind. Get away from all the woes of all the work that you have to do and the schedule and whatnot. Make sure that you take care of your mental in some fashion this weekend. Recharge your spirit, such as attending a worship service. So if you've been doing Bedside Baptist for the last month, year, whatever the case may be, Big Brother Nord gonna tell you, go step into somebody's church building. You know what I'm saying? Bedside Baptist is good. It's a great alternative for when you're on the go and when you just can't make it. However, step into somebody's church this weekend, whatever the case may be. So preparing for the week ahead tip is to recharge. Recharge all of that. All right. And write it down, make it plain. Create a vision board. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you can do over the weekend that you can write it down. Keep a journal, you know what I'm saying, at all times. Doing a vision board is one of those things where you go just like you did in school, go get one of those little boards from the Dollar Tree or Walmart or wherever you go and put some pictures on there and create a vision for what you want to accomplish. Remember, your dream chose you because your dream know you can bring it to life. Go get a vision board and plaster that dream all over it as a reminder of what needs to be done. I have a vision board that I started, and it has 3 areas that I'm working on that vision board so that I can hold myself accountable for making sure it comes to pass. All right, create the vision board. And here we go, taking care of the temple. All right, so take care of your temple. All right, so 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. He died for our sins, y'all. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. And I believe if we truly saw our bodies as a temple of God, we would be more conscious in multiple ways, not just from a physical aspect of other people, but also with what we eat, what we drink, what we do to it. And this brought me to, as far as the physical part, I have a good friend, Brittany, Britt. I won't give her a government name because she doesn't have her government name on social media. And I messaged her because she had posted about being a vegan. And so I was inquiring, like, are you a vegan? Like, because I love knowledge. And so she wasn't, but she used a term that was pretty dope to me. And that term, was she's a conscious eater. And I was like, you know what? I've never thought about it in that aspect. And so I bring it to you. Instead of me giving a list of things that are bad for you, because I don't want to be that guy that tell you that you can't eat anything. Because if we go into all the things of the nature, I had a conversation with a guy about the codes that are on fruits and vegetables. And if it starts with a 4, it's genetically grown or whatever the case may be. If it starts with a 9, then it's organic and whatever the case may be. I saw yesterday that there was an organic brown basmati rice. I'm looking for that, by the way. So if anybody see that, I need that because I love basmati rice and I love rice that's not bleached. And that sounds like a great rice. However, that's being conscious of what you eat. Understanding what goes into creating foods, what's genetically modified, what's organic, what's good for you, such as kale and spinach, how to use certain items. I'm not as proficient across the board with all of those. I might not be the person that can overall give you all the health tips, but I do know a couple of individuals I could point you in the direction of. What I do know is I listen to my body, and my body will let me know what it doesn't like, what it does like, what to stay away from. And even when you're in the gym, your body lets you know what areas need some attention. And so, in the aspect of the physical, be more conscious about what you digest. A guy had a energy drink, and he saw me with my water and whatnot, and I drink a lot of coconut water. And so he was like, "Oh man, I feel bad." I say, "Well, don't feel bad, because at one point I used to drink energy drinks on a daily basis, even when I wasn't going to the gym." All right. I said in another broadcast, I used to eat Oreos and Reese's left and right. I no longer drink energy drinks. I no longer eat Oreos or Reese's, at least on a regular basis. If I have any, it's probably one, literally a half of one or one. I can't do any more. My body just won't let me. So keep that in mind as you begin to explore and go on this journey of taking care of your temple. Be more conscious of what you put into your body, and your body will speak to you. Your waist will speak to you. Keep that in mind. All right. Be conscious of what goes into your ears, into your ear gate. All right. So Proverbs 4:23 and 24. Keep and guard your heart with all vigilance, and above all that you guard, for out of it flows the springs of life. Put away from you false and dishonest speech, all right, and willful and contrary talk. Put far from you. Be mindful of the music you listen to. Be mindful of the conversations you entertain. Be mindful of what goes in here, because what goes in here gets into your heart and gets into your spirit, and that's what flows out. So if the affirmation is you want to receive and attract abundance, you can only attract abundance if you're putting out the right energy. You can't put out the right energy if the wrong energy is in your heart and your spirit. Be mindful what goes in that ear gate. Your eye gates. All right, so Matthew 6:22 and 24. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? All right. Whenever I talk to individuals, now don't y'all be scared to talk to your boy now. Whenever I talk to individuals, even before I approach somebody, I look them in their eyes. I can, I look through their pictures, whatever. If you ever want to get to know somebody and get to know about them, look at their eyes. Their eyes will show you their spirit and their soul. All right. It will show you the place of where they're at. If they're in a healthy space, if they're dealing with something, all right, especially if you have a gift of discernment. Secure and protect your gift of discernment. All right. Look at in a person's eyes, and it will tell you everything you need to know. All right. So watch your eyes. Watch what you watch. All right. Watch what you allow into that. Those are the windows to the soul. You don't want to taint it. Take this scripture right there, meditate on it. It's going to bless you. And finally, a revelation that God gave me is the heart and the covenant. The Bible teaches more about the heart and the covenant than anything. The Bible teaches more about heart modification, more so than behavior modification. All right. If you don't believe me, study the word for yourself. As men, as preachers, as the church, we teach a lot of behavior modification, of going to heaven or hell through your actions and whatever the case may be. I'm not giving anybody a pass to do anything. That ain't what Uncle Nard's saying. All right. Leo ain't telling you can go out there kicking and do whatever and still make it into the pearly gates. What I am telling you is through my reading and revelations of talking with self and the Father, he's shown me that he cares more about heart modification. When you read the Bible, when you read these scriptures, when you really look at things, when you look at David, when you look at Samson, when you look at the history of those that serve, when you look at Paul, when you look at Peter, all of us are flawed. All of us have done things constantly in a way that would disqualify us from making it into the pearly gates if it was solely about the behavior. If it was solely about the behavior, we will all fail. All right. However, the heart, where the heart is, that's where your actions and everything else project from. So be mindful. The word of God declares that your heart be right. All right. And that you keep the covenant with God. And the one thing I'm going to tell you about the covenant before I close out is this. Be mindful of making promises to God. You're making a covenant. You're creating a covenant that he didn't create. And so when you create that covenant, such as, God, I promise if you give me this, I do that, so on and so forth. Be mindful of making those promises. Those promises become covenants. And God wants to hold you accountable to those covenants and whatnot. All right. So that's what God declares. Keeping your heart right, keeping your spirit right, and keeping the covenant. So if you're going to make a covenant with the man above, with God, understand, he didn't do that. Just like Peter bid him to walk on water, he didn't declare and ask Peter to walk on water. He permitted him because that's what he asked. All right. So out of your mouth, you can make petitions, but make sure you're able and willing to stand on them. All right. Man, my guy Terrell jumped in. Top of the morning, brother. I appreciate you joining. Liz, I appreciate you. Marco, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys getting this pilot version of Coffee with Leo kicked off. Again, you know, I'm on 3 platforms right now. The Gram wouldn't let me be great. I'll make sure I post a clip over there and redirect you to my YouTube. I do need streams over there, y'all. Help your boy out. Share this with someone, but more importantly, redirect them over to the YouTube. As these videos are taken down, they'll still be available on Balancing Life with Leo Richards YouTube page. All right. So again, enjoy your weekend. The weekends are to prepare for the week ahead. If you've enjoyed this, which I hope you did, share this with somebody, bless somebody. Always spiritual, mental, lifestyle in that order. Make sure that you take these principles so that you can balance life and enjoy life in the way that God intended. All right. Many blessings to you. Peace.